From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a special live broadcast upon my return. This is LALATE with your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 tonight. Live on air on a special evening's LALATE broadcast. In this recording, we'll be going over the fourth stimulus check, how much you get, when you get it, and all the credible details about that monthly stimulus check. We'll be going over the breaking news that happened earlier today, that happened yesterday, and the day before to bring you all up to date on all the incredible news about that fourth stimulus check. Then the second half of this video, we'll be going over the new details about this stimulus and how those benefits will be raised up based upon a benchmark that's getting a major new twist. And then in the middle of this video, we go over the thousands of dollars the viewers continue to get. It's your opportunity tonight to get it as well. It's a big night. The toast was toasting. It's still sort of waiting for some butter into butter. I'm here, you're here. Let's get right to it on Evenings LALATE. Good evening, everybody. How are you? It is wonderful to be back with you. It is Tuesday evening here, live, direct from Santa Monica. It is warm. It is warm right now. Yeah, a little too warm, but I hope you are wonderful. Tell me where you're watching from and how's the weather where you are tonight, this Tuesday evening. In this special live broadcast of Evenings LALATE, I go over all the breaking news about the fourth stimulus check that have happened in the last 48 hours, a lot of it, and the incredible details about how much you're going to get for that fourth stimulus check, when you're going to get in all those incredible details as well. In the second half of this video, we go over fifth stimulus and what you should anticipate tomorrow that is all wonderful, and a major announcement about something that's related to fifth stimulus, buried in the news, but I'm going to deliver it to you on this recording. And then in the middle of the video, we'll go with $1,000 that you can get right now. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel, live in the morning, taped in the afternoon. I'm next back with you with Evenings Crypto Overnight, which has a brand new show tonight, recorded just minutes ago, and then Evenings Crypto. Yep, we saw the downturn of the market today. I'll have a new broadcast with you in just right after this video, so don't miss it. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record for a reason. The best darn channel there is. Next up, 1 million. Also, like this video. Consider becoming a member. Let's get right into that fourth stimulus check with the House bill and the Senate proposal starting right now. The House bill from LALATE provides a monthly stimulus check, a pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate proposal, on the other hand, provides less months of stimulus checks. Let's compare and contrast how they are. First, the House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year monthly stimulus checks. The Senate proposal, on the other hand, provides stimulus checks from July to December. The House bill provides the first month would be $2,000, $1,000 thereafter monthly. The Senate proposal, the monthly amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Yes, wow. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. That is per person. If you're in the live chat just after 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday evening, get ready to vote House or Senate, but not just yet, because there's a macroeconomic factor that could modify LALATE's House bill. It's the end of the pandemic because LALATE's bill is pandemic plus 1 year. Some legislators may contend the pandemic is over, which would result in 12 months of checks of $13,000 from the House bill compared to this over 6 months. Oh boy, I think you now have an opinion. So jump into the live chat or in the description and the comments under the video if you're watching later tonight. House or Senate, which one do you like? House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. And thank you for the wonderful comments over the last 48 hours. Let's go over everything else you need to know about that fourth stimulus check. Who gets it? You do. If you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you are a married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Double it. Household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check does not come in waves. High check, no, it's not a waivable check. It's a monthly check. The fourth stimulus check would not have a different amount for different people because you're all the same person. Adult dependents, minor dependents, everyone get the same stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not taxable because it's not income. And the fourth stimulus check would go out in the month of July. They represent the legislators. They make the representations. I just report what they represent. And they represent the vote will be by July 4th. That means as you get the first check in the month of July for the month of July, in the month of August for the month of August. That is the first of three parts of your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 in this recording. But coming up in the second part, we're going to be going over all the breaking news that happened today, yesterday, and throughout the last 48 hours. And there's a lot of it. So stay with me. But first, here's a preview of the second half of this video. It is fifth stimulus. And fifth stimulus is getting a major twist tomorrow after the twist that happened in the last 48 hours. And there's a new allocation of funds. I'll be explaining all those details in the second half of this video. Wonderful news if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits. Stay with me. But first, let's get some money. You've been killing it. I've been seeing your comments in the last 48 hours, and you've been absolutely doing wonderful. If you got any money for rent, utilities, mortgage, drop in the live chat what you got or drop in the comments because you inspire other viewers. This channel is about getting people money, not reporting news or tracking checks. And to those people who want to track checks, this ain't this channel. This is about cashing checks. And there's a lot of money available for you. This channel came to fruition with me helping viewers get EIDL loans that were not approved. $25 million that they had not gotten, save their businesses, save their homes, and they got that money. But in fall of 2020, we had a similar problem. We didn't see second stimulus was passing. So I helped give people that rent and utilities and change their lives. Now it's your opportunity to get that money as well. So get a pen and paper ready. Stay with me to the very end because I have a lot of money for you to get, and it's starting right now. $350 billion is landing your city, counties, and states this week and next week for you. No, not all for you. It's to share. 349 for you and like $1 billion for me, maybe, please, like $500 million, $250 million, please. Maybe a quarter. Well, And so that money is landing. It's for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and also homeowners utilities. Get that pen and paper ready because I'm going to show you the different places that you can get that money. But remember, each of the locations has different eligibility. So if one says no, reach out to the next. Got that pen ready? All right, here we go. You're going to reach out to City Hall, City Housing Authority, County Hall, County Housing Authority, State Hall, State Housing Authority. The key word you're going to say is rent assistance because of COVID or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't say stimulus because they don't know that word. And you also don't say Joe Manchin. So say who? No, sir, this is the rent department. I just had to say that. So congratulations to Tim and Linda, who got that money without saying Joe Manchin's name. They got that money for rent. But congratulations to Lynn Glenn and Gail, who got the next pot of money, and one viewer on Morning to LA on Monday who got $7,000, $6,000 or $7,000 for her family of two, I believe it was, and it's SNAP. It's wonderful. Let's go over how much it is, when you can get in, how you can get in, why it's so much money. SNAP is money from the Department of Agriculture for food. You get it from reaching out to Department of Agriculture. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, for her son, and her mom. And Gail got it for herself. It's wonderful. How much can you get? Well, a family of four in Hawaii can get upwards of $16,000 per year. Why so much? Because of two wonderful executive orders, one from Trump and one from Biden that raise everyone's benefits up 15% between now and December. So there you go, $16,000 for rent for SNAP from Hawaii, for a family of four in Hawaii, and $5,000 for rent. We are killing it, and we're only 10 minutes of the video. I got more money for you right now, and it's $5,000 that one viewer got this next money for. What is it? It's money from your states. The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment benefits during the last year due to computer error, not your computer, their computer, and asking you to return the money, which you did. Well, the federal government has said, no, it was your money to keep. Wow, wonderful news. So how do you get this money? It's coming automatically from your state. Reach out to your respective state for routing times. The money will be going automatically to the account you have on file. Next, I got to thank Cod, who jumped into Overnight's crypto earlier this week, and the other viewer who jumped into Overnight's crypto last week to say, I got this money. Tell viewers that it's coming on the way. Overnight's crypto is our hit show that airs coming up after this show. It runs normally 12 hours. It just finished a 48-hour run. Can you imagine? Yeah, the views are a little bit high. 48-hour run. But thank you for Cod, which is absolutely wonderful because he jumped into a show that had nothing to do with stimulus to tell viewers that this money's coming for you. That's a true spirit of the Purple Power. Viewers really going out of their way to help other viewers. So thank you, Cod. What is this money? It is money back from the federal government. The taxes you paid on that 2020 unemployment benefits. First, how much, when you're going to get it, how you're going to get it, and how to track it. Let's go over all the details. First, how much? If you had $9,000 of unemployment assistance and you had a total tax bill of $5,000 on that 2020 tax return, of which $4,000 was your taxes on the unemployment assistance, congratulations, you're getting back $4,000. Next, how? By direct deposit if you're like Cod, who had that set up on their 2020 return. Otherwise, in the mail. So watch that mail over the rest of this month for a laser thin envelope. Go surgically through the mail. When are you going to receive it? This month. And then can you track it? You can 70% of the time. Go to irs.gov, set up a username and password. Go in there and do a transcript search, which 70% of the time generally works. It'll reveal when you file that 2020 return, the taxes you paid, and the check you're coming back. Wow. Now that is great news. Can you top that, LALATE? I can, with incredible details of what's been happening on the fourth stimulus in the last 48 hours. Today, yesterday, I'm going to give you all the details starting right now. The President of the United States today confirmed that negotiations are off with Shelley Moore Capito, the Republican counterproposal. But the president did understand that he was willing to hear from a new group of Republican counteroffers. That was number one. Number two, the Republican counteroffers are not stalling or halting or having any impact on the reconciliation. Why? Because the third breaking news is that we have learned that they are currently, quote, marking up the fourth stimulus reconciliation bill in the House. Congratulations. It is currently being marked up in the House, the actual bill. Additionally, we learned by Monday and Tuesday that the entire Democratic Senate caucus is now aligned to pass the fourth stimulus, despite any strange wranglings by any particular people on the East Coast, senators, that you may have heard over the weekend. We have now learned that it has now been settled down and they are all on point to get it passed. And finally, the president's set to sign some major deal in person this week. That detail coming up in a second, which is the following. It started with the Friday before Memorial Day weekend when Leader Schumer confirmed not one but three breaking news stories which I had been reporting up until that point. And those were: one, Schumer confirmed that the reconciliation process is already underway. Two, he confirmed that the reconciliation votes will be done by July 4th. And he also confirmed, number three, that the reconciliation process will not be held up by negotiations between the president and Republicans. Now, what got that to that point was an incredible letter from Jayapal, that House member who wrote the multiple stimulus check bill. Jayapal wrote Schumer a letter initially saying, call the vote, call the vote. Well, when Jayapal wrote that letter to Schumer, who supported the letter was co-signed by 12 Democrats. But who are these 12 Democrats? They're among the 100 who had written the president a letter a week earlier saying, we're going to put multiple fourth stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package from Jayapal's bill. Wow, now that's great news. Can we top that? We can. When about a week ago, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to work with you to put those monthly stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package. Oh my goodness. What does work with you mean? It's a euphemism because the president doesn't write the legislation, they do. But who are these people? They are the people who are on the subcommittee of the House that's solely and exclusively responsible for writing stimulus checks. Yes, they wrote the first stimulus checks, the second stimulus checks, the third stimulus checks, and now they're saying they're writing the fourth stimulus checks to put them in the fourth stimulus package. Wow, now that is wonderful news. Sir Lloyd, I think Captain Obvious are outside the window at this point. Can we top it? We can. And it brought us back to what I've been reporting in recent days of an event on Tuesday. I had said it was a little complicated. I want to slow it down. The President of the United States is passing forced stimulus by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate higher than 21%, where it is right now. Well, the president's idea was to reach out to global leaders, which he did about a week ago, and ask them if they would agree to raise the global minimum corporate tax rate. They said they would. Good. So then the president later that Tuesday afternoon reached out to his colleagues and said, after forced stimulus is passed, I'm going to go back to those international leaders to get them to sign on the dotted line about that global minimum corporate tax rate. And if they do, then I'll raise the U.S. corporate tax. I'll lower the U.S. corporate tax rate closer to where it is right now. That was wonderful news at the time. Multiple stimulus checks and a corporate tax rate closer to where we are right now. Wow. So then what happened on Saturday? On Saturday, the president had a meeting with the G7 countries, which I had told viewers on Friday I had heard about to stay with me on Saturday because I heard something was happening, but I wasn't sure what it was. And out of nowhere, the president of the United States surprised everyone by revealing that those G7 countries had agreed to the global minimum corporate tax rate of 15% before forced stimulus is passed, which is absolutely huge, and that they would be signing into law in person this week. This is jaw-dropping because the president originally was going to have them sign it after forced stimulus, but is now having them sign it before forced stimulus to get it to the finish line. Oh my goodness. And so there you are going into this evening with how the president has orchestrated getting this from point A to point C. Incredible, great news. It gets even better with more updates about forced stimulus coming up later in this recording. And I'll be going over personal messages for you as well about forced stimulus and new details about fifth stimulus. But first, some other great news, which is the volunteers. The volunteers embody the true spirit of this channel. They're viewers just like you. And they embody the viewers who are here to help one another, support one another, keep everyone positive and loving. And they're absolutely salt of the earth. So if you've reached out for that rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, which can pay you thousands of dollars, more than a stimulus check, and have had problems finding it, don't worry. The volunteers are there to help you. Open the description to this video. Go down in the description till you see an emoji of a house. Next to it is the word community page with a link to news.lalate.com/community. Click on it. It'll send you over to the community page. It has a picture of some kitty cats. They're not the volunteers. They're just kitty cats. That is not a kitty cat YouTube channel. That's the other ones. Go down on the page, and below the kitty cats are the volunteers. They're separated from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and they'll help you get that money for rent and utilities and mortgage assistance and SNAP. And I will be back with you in about 60 seconds with more exciting details about the fourth stimulus, the fifth stimulus, and a personal message as well. Stay with me. I'll see you in about 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on a special live broadcast of Evenings LALATE direct from Santa Monica, California, shortly after 5:30 Pacific Standard Time on a Tuesday evening. How are you? It's wonderful to be back. How are you? I'm here, you're here, and the purple petunias are gone. I know. But thank you for joining me and thank you for your wonderful messages. Subscribe, 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record for a reason. Also, like this video. If you're in the live chat, hit that like right now. Get that thing and just like it. There you go. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. More about that in a second. Let's get right to Fifth Stimulus, which has incredible new twists. And I'm going to start with the twist before I get into Fifth Stimulus, which is fascinating. The President of the United States this week, I believe it was yesterday, announced that he is dedicating billions of additional dollars to the Social Security Administration to ensure your benefits are sent out in a faster, easier process than before. So that was a huge development. It's not in the fourth stimulus. It is a separate bill, which I won't be covering on this channel. And it's not money that goes directly to you, but ensures that you get money faster, easier, and more on time going forward and going into fifth stimulus. This is a major surprise that no one saw coming. Let's go into fifth stimulus now and understand its developing details as well. Fifth stimulus will raise your benefits up, then remove the asset limits at an inflationary benchmark, then remove a marriage penalty and remove the income exclusion. Let's go over all that. And the breaking news about this as well. First, they're going to raise up your benefits one big time. Who's just you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, Survivor benefits, or SSA. Your benefits will be raised up one big time. Next, they're going to apply a benchmark. That benchmark is inflation. It pays a lot more than Elizabeth Warren's CPIE and a lot more than COLA right now. And later this week, we're going to see more details about where that inflation rate will be. Earlier this week, yesterday, one of the heads of Deutsche Bank said that he expected massive inflation this fall. Oh boy, that's good for you. And this Thursday, of course, we see the new jobless claims. That'll give us a sense of where inflation is going. But we're starting to see more analysts really talk about higher inflation rates than even thought of before. Let's choose a number. They're putting it somewhere between 2 to 7%. Let's choose 6% to understand how this works. First, they'll raise your benefits up under fifth stimulus. Then they'll apply the benchmark. Let's say the inflation rate is 6% in December. Then you would step up 6%. That not just for next year, lifetime. Because the way benefits works is they raise you up and never step down. So if the year after that, the inflation rate is 0%, you're still at plus 6%. If the year after that, the inflation rate is 1%, then you're at plus 6%. Wonderful news. We'll be watching how this news unfolds throughout this week as we learn more about the inflation rate and more about the details of additional funding going to the Social Security Administration for your benefits being sent out. Now, they're also going to remove the asset cap. Good. It prevents you from having more than $3,000 in hand. Time to get rid of it so you can get those stimulus checks in your hand. Getting rid of a 1980s law. Then they're going to get rid of a 1960s law, which prevents you from working. Time to get rid of that so you can work if you want to work. And finally, get money in the account and not lose benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. Love is going to win, and you will no longer worry about losing benefits from getting married or being married. Love is going to win, and that is your fifth stimulus package update of 2021. But it's important to know that there's a lot of other things in fifth stimulus for you. And that's the value of membership. The membership link's at the top of the chat in the pinned comment. In a given day, there's a lot of stuff to cover. And I can't, in a 30-minute video, which is only at 24 minutes, cover everything that's in fifth stimulus, fourth stimulus, and third stimulus. And so what I do is I deliver to viewers this channel via the YouTube community page, which if you have set up by email, goes right to your email, a breakdown of everything that's in fifth stimulus, fourth stimulus, and third stimulus. For example, in fifth stimulus, there's money for single individuals, money for individuals from hazard pay, and money for individuals who are seniors for medical benefits. Under fourth stimulus, there's a lot of other items which I don't have time to cover. And under third stimulus, there's thousands of dollars for you to get. Ultimately, a lot of this money is application-based, so you need to apply to get the money. Which brings us back to fourth stimulus and the third part of our fourth stimulus check update of 2021 in this recording. First, I want to go over what calling the vote is, and second, I want to go over some personal messages about fourth stimulus for you. First, calling the vote. The reconciliation process involves 9 voting steps at least. And those 9 voting steps involve the first half is procedural and the second half is substantive. There's no way to cut corners because they're required by the Constitution. Step 1, the House subcommittee votes on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. Step 4, the President signs the procedural bill into law. The tow truck has now passed over the finish line. Time to do the substantive bill, the tow hitch. Step 5, the House subcommittee votes on the substantive bill. Early in this recording, you heard about the House subcommittees already marking up the bill. They have written part of it, and they're marking it up, that particular House committee. It's at that point that a particular House committee covered also in this recording could put in those monthly stimulus checks. And then step 6, the House floor votes on the substantive bill. Step 7 and 8, the vote-a-rama in the Senate, a 2-day event. That 2-day event involves senators to amend, if they wish, anything they got from or didn't get from the House. So if they didn't get any stimulus checks, they can amend and add them in there. If they did get them, they can leave them alone, or they can amend them and add them in there or increase them. And then finally, step 9, the President signs into law. And that is how the calling the vote works. Finally, a message for you. Forced stimulus involves a lot of things, and I really love all the wonderful comments you've been sending. On social media outside this channel, I've been seeing a lot of people say crazy things about forced stimulus, which sometimes makes me want to laugh. But I want to go over some of them with you because you have been excellent in really taking the information and learning from the information. My most favorite expression I've heard about forced stimulus is, "It's not in there." Every time I hear the word there, I sort of, there? Where's there? Some people refer to forced stimulus as like it's a vase. Like it's a vase. It's not in the vase. I don't see it in the vase. It's not in there. It's not in there. Is it in there? It's not in there. There's no vase. There's nothing for it to be in there because there's no vase for it to be in. At this point, the forced stimulus package has not been finalized. So to say it's not in there, there is no vase to say that's in the vase. Let's assume there was a vase. For the person who says it's not in the vase, let's assume there is a vase. Guess what? By the time the vase gets to the Senate, the senators can take the vase and take it to the glass blowers and blow it into a blue vase from a white vase, or to a teal vase, or God forbid, a muddled blue vase. But the senators can still modify the vase if there was a vase, of which there is not a vase. So that's one of my most favorite expressions. My next one is, I haven't heard from her or him or them or him about that thing. That's my most favorite expression. Let's understand that 2021 is not 2020. 2020 was election year. There were senators up for election. There were presidents up for election. And you were with me in 2020, and I literally sometimes had press releases from a particular person with a hairdresser almost every 4 days. There was always a press release on Friday, but there was sometimes extra press releases. And a certain guy from Kentucky always had a press release. Everyone had press releases. This year, they don't talk as much because they're not up for re-election. And there's not someone of importance. There's not any senatorial elections or presidential. So the talking is a little bit less. And ultimately, just because people aren't talking doesn't mean they're not walking. One of my also favorite expressions is in session. They're not in session. The session hasn't started. Every time I hear it, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like an usher at the entrance to a movie theater. The movie's not in session yet. It hasn't started. No. Let me explain what in session means. In session refers to the House or Senate floor calling things for a vote. So sometimes, and certain broadcast media from 2020 would sometimes say, in session means everyone's out of town, off in the South Pacific, having lobster roast. No, in session doesn't mean they're out of town and not working. It just means they're out on the floor voting at that moment. So needless to say, there's a lot of very funny expressions out there. And ultimately, it's important for you to understand what these expressions mean and what they don't mean. Finally, we have learned from legislators, and it's important to push. And now is the opportunity for Purple Power, the viewers of this channel, to push and push right now. You don't want to push after the legislation's written. You could certainly push when the senators are doing a reconciliation, but you'd rather push now before the vote is called for the House floor. Why? Because elected officials in the last year have had bills that became law, and there was supposed to be money, and they never sent the money out. Elected officials have often had bills, but never went to a vote. Cash Act 2020, where there were supposed to be retro stimulus checks of $3,200 for adult dependents. And elected officials have often promised they were going to do something and folded like lawn chairs. Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley from fall 2020. So it's important that you need to push. You've been doing a great job on social media, but you need to do more. Hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. And I know I have not been tweeting much in the last 24 hours. So as I ramp up my tweeting tomorrow, I encourage you to share and tweet the videos from this channel. Hashtag MSC, hashtag Purple Power. Tweet your elected officials and more. I'm next back with you on air with Overnight's Crypto Live. Yes, that 15-hour broadcast. We just finished a 48-hour broadcast. And then at 7 o'clock with Evening's Crypto. Both shows coming up are new. Evening's Crypto tonight is new. Overnight's Crypto tonight is new. And then tomorrow morning's early morning's LALATE is new, as always. The overnight shows are always pre-recorded, of course. They're throwback shows from last year, including Holidays LA. Why is he putting up a holiday show? If you don't enjoy the holidays, then don't watch it. With that, I look forward to seeing you on Overnight's Crypto, Evening's Crypto, and then Early Mornings LA. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Thank you for all your wonderful comments and messages. I am totally healthy and totally fine. The purple petunias, not so much. Hopefully, I get them replaced. Also, like this video. And stay informed, stay focused, stay positive, stay motivated, and stay with LA for more.